Welcome to Seesaw's 12 Days of Christmas.
Gifting you guests this holiday season.
On the 11th day of Christmas, Seesaw gave to me disability advocate Joe Hardy.
Hello one and all, and welcome back to the Seesaw 12 Days of Christmas. By this time, you know we are catching up with all of our fantastic guests that we've had over the last year or so. And today we have the fabulous Joe Hardy. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you for having me back on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So just to kick off things, Joe, how have things been going?
Not too bad. I mean, it could be better because obviously the government response to the Right to Love petition was very disappointing, if not unexpected.
Just so our listeners know, what was the response from the government?
Basically, they said they weren't going to do anything and that the system as it currently is represents fairness for the taxpayer. If you're disabled to the extent that you can't work and you fall in love with somebody and you want to progress your life with them, that's your problem. And basically they've got to look after us, and it's just completely wrong. And I just can't believe that we're still thinking in these ridiculously outdated sort of lines of thought in 2023, and it's just a complete joke, really.
Absolutely. But we have an election coming up, don't we? So maybe new government might see some changes.
Well, thing is, the way Labour are going at the minute, I'm not fully optimistic that they would get on board with doing something about this, but I do think that they might be more receptive to it than the current government would be. So I think it's a slim opportunity, but it's more of an opportunity than we've currently got with the Tories.
And just tell us a little bit about the petition. How many people did you get that signed up for it eventually?
In the end, it was just over, I think it was about 11,500, which,
wow.
But the thing is, that seems like a lot, but the last time I did this ended up with about 24,000, I think it was, or it might have been a few more. So I don't know if it was something to do with the algorithms of Twitter not pushing out the retweets to enough people to get them to see it or what, but it seems like a lot less people came across it this time, which is slightly disappointing considering I don't know why that was, and I definitely didn't push it any less hard than I did when I did it a few years ago.
Yeah. There's been a lot of changes, haven't there? Like especially to the platform, and I think that's affected so many people. Like if you're getting a petition off the ground or content creating or anything like that, I think it's become very, especially from my experience, it's a lot more commercialization. I get a lot more from big companies now. And now I think I don't really want to know about the new Big Mac with chicken. It's like I want to hear about all the people that I actually follow.
Yeah.
So where do you go from here with it then?
Well, I'm just gonna keep sort of trying to raise as much awareness as I can and hope that somehow, potentially, as we've said, with a new government or something might be more receptive to the idea, but I'm certainly not going to give up on it.
Brilliant.
No, nor should you. I mean, here's a wacky thought, Joe, but maybe wacky isn't the right word. Have you ever thought of going for a political position yourself, maybe locally, and then just like going that route as well? Like get on that stage where you can rock up to these meetings in like a capacity as an elected official through like a local election. Because you've got a lot of really good thoughts, a lot of like what you're saying is really true and really relevant. And I think a lot of people would get behind you just based on your honesty and passion.
I have sort of considered it, but then in terms of all like the practical support I would actually need to make it a reality, I think it would be a bit of a minefield. So it might be worth exploring, but I think there would still be a lot of practically difficult implications. So I'd have to see, I think, on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, if we move on to like more festive things, what have you got? What you got planned for Christmas? What you doing over the holidays?
Well, we'll have family coming over as we have my grandma comes over on Christmas Eve and she's with us till Boxing Day, and my brother and his girlfriend, they'll come over on Christmas Day morning, and then they'll come back on Boxing Day, and we'll have turkey and chips for Boxing Day lunch. It's always a favourite. So
Amazing. Outside the turkey and chips, is there like any traditions like outside of that you do like as a family or personally? Is there something that you always make sure you do around the season?
even though I'm 29 and a half, I still put my stocking out every year.
Too right.
Yeah, I'd never like to be away for Christmas. It wouldn't feel right to me to not be at home for Christmas. And people have said about going on holiday to places where it's warmer, and I think I can't imagine not being cold at Christmas. It works for some people, but for me it just wouldn't feel like Christmas if you know what I mean.
No, absolutely.
My mum's mum there, she's still up in Newcastle, but so we don't get to see that side of the family over Christmas usually. But she did come down a few months ago, so that was really nice. Yeah.
Right. So here's a question for you, Joe. When you have a disability, I think we've all had a Christmas where you have a family member or a friend who maybe doesn't understand the scope of your disability, and they always get you a gift that they think, oh, that's going to be really good. But then you unwrap it, you're always nice about it, and then you're always like, I don't think of any world that this is going to be useful for me at all.
I did once get a present from somebody because I quite like Only Fools and Horses, the program, and I got a shirt with Del Boy and Rodney and Grandad on, but it said Father of the Year again was written on it. But of course, I haven't got any kids, and so yeah, I only wore that a few times, sort of around the house, but I obviously never went out anywhere wearing that one.
That's great. That's great. I love gifts like that. One year, a family member of mine bought me a big stack of Braille paper specifically for a Brailler.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't have a Brailler. I unwrapped this and I thought it was a huge book, and it's like, no, it's just a refill for a Perkins Brailler, like 200 sheets of high density paper. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I don't have a Brailler. So I think my wife used it for sketches because it really absorbs ink well. So I was like, do you want this?
Yeah.
Actually, this is really good for sketching. It's like, oh, well, we got to use that at least.
Well, at least you found something to do with it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But there's also the hamster cage at the end of the day. It's very absorbent Braille paper.
And what have you got anything planned for the new year then, Joe?
New Year in February, I'm going to Brackley away game to see them play Warrington, because my best friend lives in Warrington, so we're gonna go and see her, and she's gonna come to the football with us, so that'll be good. And obviously, I don't want to be too political again, but I'm hoping that there'll be an election next year that I can hopefully look forward to, and I'll be staying up all night for that one, I think.
Awesome.
And don't think there's a lot else, but I'll just have to see what happens, because you never know, really.
The best way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Things always come up.
It is, but I'm hoping that next year will be a good one. So
Take advantage of the turmoil, Joe. That's what you got to do. Yeah, if there's ever a time to really push a campaign and really like get people involved, it's going to be a time of an election. You know, we of course wish all the best, and we'll be promoting what you're doing as well, of course, through our channels, because it's a really great cause, and hopefully the scrappiness that maybe the election coming up, it's a great time to get people talking about this, because it's really important.
Yeah, I fully agree, and thank you very much for your support. It really does mean a lot, and I say this to to everybody who's supported me in whether it's in this or anything else that I've been trying to raise awareness about with disability issues. It really does mean so much that I have so many people supporting me, because I think sometimes you don't realize how much support that you have until you start putting your thoughts out there. And then obviously if you get a positive response, it really is quite life affirming, and really shows that you are doing the right thing and that you should keep going. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Amazing.
Great message as well.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. And of course, I'll put the links in the notes of this episode for your Twitter and anywhere else anyone can find you, so they can keep up to date with future petitions and what's going on as well.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks for coming on, Joe. It's been a pleasure.
You're very welcome, and yeah, I hope you have a lovely Christmas and a Happy New Year, and the same to everybody who listens.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
And yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Seesaw's 12 Days of Christmas.
We hope you've enjoyed catching up with our guests as much as we have, and we look forward to bringing you many more in 2024.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at Seesaw.